Before Liam Neeson became an international action star, and before Helen Mirren was crowned one of Britain's greatest living actresses, they were just two young performers deeply in love. Today we revisit a beautiful and mature story, not of heartbreak, but of respect, nostalgia, and lifelong admiration. This is the story of how Helen Mirren and Liam Neeson reunited after decades apart, and how their connection still warms hearts around the world. It all began in 1980, on the set of Excalibur, the fantasy epic filmed in Ireland. Liam Neeson was still a young actor from Ballymena, Northern Ireland, passionate, humble, and just beginning his career. Helen Mirren, on the other hand, was already a celebrated actress with years of experience on stage and screen. But when they met, something sparked instantly. Both have said it wasn't just physical attraction. It was admiration. Helen saw in Liam a raw talent and a quiet power that she knew would one day make him a star. Liam once said in an interview, "I fell in love with Helen Mirren instantly. She was so beautiful, so confident, and I was completely smitten." And indeed, he was. The two quickly became inseparable. They moved in together in London and spent several years as a couple. Helen was already well known, and Liam was still finding his footing. She later revealed that during that time, she even helped Liam get noticed. She introduced him to her agent, helping launch his film career. It was a loving and supportive relationship, filled with respect. They shared laughter, art, and passion, but also knew their lives were heading in different directions. Fame was calling for both of them, and as Liam's career began to rise, their paths slowly drifted apart. By the mid-1980s, they decided to part ways, not out of anger, but with deep affection. Helen would go on to find long-term happiness with director Taylor Hackford, and Liam would later marry Natasha Richardson. But the memory of their time together remained a gentle chapter in both of their lives. Fast forward more than 30 years later, it is 2018. Helen Mirren and Liam Neeson are invited to appear together on The Graham Norton Show. For the first time in decades, they sat side by side, older, wiser, and still sharing that unmistakable warmth. As soon as they appeared on screen, fans could feel the chemistry. Helen smiled at Liam and said playfully, "We didn't just date, we lived together. We were a serious item for about 4 years." The audience erupted in laughter, but behind the jokes, there was real tenderness. Liam looked at her with that same soft admiration he had all those years ago and said, "Helen was really important for me. She was one of the most important people in my life." Their reunion wasn't awkward or emotional. It was pure affection and gratitude. Two people who had loved, grown, and moved on, yet still carried deep respect for one another. Over the years, both Helen and Liam have spoken with honesty and kindness about their past. Helen described Liam as a beautiful man, not just physically, but as a soul. She said that while their romance didn't last, she's always proud of the man he became. Liam, in turn, has never shied away from praising her. He called her one of the most intelligent, fascinating women he's ever met. In interviews, you can still hear a quiet fondness in his voice whenever her name comes up. It's rare in Hollywood to see such respect between exes, especially decades later. But Liam and Helen remind us that love doesn't always end when a relationship does. Sometimes it changes form, from romance into lifelong admiration. When their reunion aired, the internet exploded. Fans were touched by their connection, many commenting things like, "You can tell they still care about each other," and "That's what mature love looks like." Their story became one of the most heartwarming celebrity moments of the decade. Proof that not every love story has to end in heartbreak. Even today, fans of both actors look back on their Excalibur days with fondness. It is not just nostalgia for young love. It's admiration for two artists who found joy in each other and continued to shine separately. Helen Mirren and Liam Neeson's relationship is more than a forgotten Hollywood fling. It is a story of mutual respect, inspiration, and lifelong friendship. They remind us that love can evolve, that memories can stay beautiful, and that sometimes the people from our past still shape who we become. From young lovers to lifelong friends, Helen and Liam's connection proves that true affection never really fades. Thanks for watching Legend Story. If you enjoyed this look back at one of Hollywood's most touching relationships, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Stay tuned for more inspiring stories from the legends we love.